And thank you for joining us on the last edition of Journalist Hangout this week. I'm Benga Oreshegun. Today on the program, immigration arrests billionaire Enugu notorious ritualist while escaping Nigeria. Fubara predicts quick return to democracy in Rivers State, urges Nigerians to thank President Bola Tinubu for timely intervention in its crisis. And I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade, Utitoju, and Emeka Madunagu. Journalist Hangout starts right now. Now let's begin the conversation. There's a new twist to an event. We just heard of breaking news talking about the EFCC and fresh charges, for the former CBN governor, talking about Godwin Emefiele. But Biko, talk to us about this fresh charges.
Yes, it's a fresh 8-count charge of stealing filed against the immediate past CBN governor. And it has to do with the 753 luxury duplexes.
Okay.
Seized by the order of the court in Abuja, and then handed over by the EFCC to the Federal Ministry of Housing.
Yes.
During the ceremony recently. Now, Emefiele has challenged the final forfeiture.
The forfeiture?
Yes.
He challenged it?
Yes. So many strange things happen in our land. First and foremost, there was a time ceiling within which anybody who has a stake on that land should have, on that piece of property should have come forward.
Okay.
To tell the court that, look, this property belongs to me. This property is not, it was not put there from proceeds of crime. Therefore, I deserve to be allowed to keep that property. The court waited and waited. Nobody stepped forward. And because nobody stepped forward,
the court had to take it.
That order.
But final forfeiture.
Order of final forfeiture. This happened so many times. This is not the first time.
Sure.
But you and I know that that is the biggest seizure of property executed anywhere in the world. It's a world record. There's nowhere in the world where such a big piece of property has ever been seized by any government, by any agency of government. So we knew that some people were behind this.
Absolutely.
But there was reasonable suspicion that it belonged to the EFCC. I mean,
to the former CBN governor.
Yes, because at the time when they were conducting some searches in his home, they found some documents that linked the property to him. But because he never said at the time that, look, this belongs to me, and nobody else stepped forward, the court gave the order. After that time ceiling, somebody now began to challenge the order of the court. Oh, this thing belongs to me, give it back to me. That is never done. Now the EFCC, seizing upon this fresh reality, decided to then file a fresh charge against him. And that has nothing to do with other charges.
Other charges that are already on ground.
This is just fresh. And the particulars of the offense says that you, Godwin Emefiele, and Eric Ocheme at large. Who is at large? That's Henrik. Sometime in August 2021 in Abuja, within the jurisdiction of this honorable court, knowingly had under control the total sum of 900 million naira domiciled in Ifedigo Integrated Services account number. I won't mention the account, domiciled with Zenith Bank, which sum is reasonably suspected to be unlawfully obtained. Count 7 says, knowingly having under your control property reasonably suspected to be unlawfully obtained, contrary to and punishable under Section 319A of the Penal Code, Cap 89, laws of the Federation. People must be able to defend their property. In the Nigeria that we all desire to see, we cannot joke with proceeds of crime.
Absolutely.
We've seen now that if we take the war against corruption seriously, and people lose what is believed reasonably to be proceeds of crime, they forfeit it to the state. The state can use that property the way they deem fit.
So the benefits of the people.
Today, we know that the bulk of the funds that NEL Fund is using for the students' loan scheme, the bulk of it came from proceeds of crime, lawfully seized by Nigerian courts. The consumer credit scheme that the president instituted, through which civil servants can take loans at a very favorable interest rate, part of the process of crime, because this current leadership of the EFCC has broken records in terms of seizure of process of crime. They are using some of the money seized for the consumer credit scheme, and some of the money they've seized have also gone into the budget. So if somebody cannot defend a property that he acquired, it deserves to lose it. That's the way it is in Malaysia and other countries.
Absolutely.
Read about how people are losing process of crime in Malaysia.
Once you cannot defend it,
you can't defend it. You see, part of what should go into making lives better for us as a people, the wealth of our nation, that we should use to take care of the poor, the vulnerable in our society. Some irresponsible individuals will honor to themselves and to their children.
It is wicked.
And they expect us to leave them.
No.
No reasonable country and its people should allow that to happen. So this is where we are. I'm happy. Let those monies go to the state. Let the state use such money seized to better the lot of the deprived in our society.
Absolutely.
It's as simple as that.
All right, Emeka Madunagu, I need you to weigh in on this. I mean, he said that, he was not even aware that the EFCC gave out notice, which was a national dailies. Now he's defending, he said he's ready to challenge it. Your thoughts here?
No, if he wasn't aware, because he has been in custody, that is one. But he has had access to his lawyers.
Absolutely, that's another one.
I don't think that holds water. But I'm really worried if we have to, stay on this cycle continuously. It's eroding it's weakening the economy. I am more interested in how can we stop these things from happening, because you see them, they are still happening even as we speak.
No.
So how, because you look at the time this project started, what was the exchange rate of the naira to the dollar? So at whatever rate you sell it now, of what benefit will it be to us, considering when you discount for inflation? So these things hurt us. These things hurt the economy. So we must find ways of making sure that at least we bring corruption to the barest minimum, because we cannot continue like this. There's a lot, that we can make. I mean, look at such a property. I was surprised. How would anybody expect that this kind of property, that nobody will see it? I mean, that it will just stay hidden in plain sight. I mean, this is, and you've just seen one. You don't know others.
Yes, there could
be more. Hidden in maybe some
suburbs,
suburbs, nooks and crannies of Nigeria. Maybe even in Abuja.
Yes.
Even in the FCT. You might be surprised. After all, wasn't there somebody who built a commodity exchange warehouse in his hometown? So these things, we must find a way. I don't know, but we must find it. We must deliberate seriously about it in every way, whether it is, people occupying public offices stealing money or over-invoicing or padding of budgets or whatever. We must find a way to put a stop to all of this.
Absolutely. And I believe this should serve as a deterrent. It should serve as a deterrent.
It should. I think this is a waste of time. Seeking to take back this sort of thing is the height of impunity. I mean, I don't even understand the audacity. This is the audacity of greed, in my view. The audacity of greed. Because to come out, to have the nerve to say, I want to take it back. To have the balls, permit me to use that. To have the balls to say, look, give this straight to me. How do you explain that you lawfully worked to put this together?
It's not even possible.
Look at the what is contained in the charge. That you, Godwin Emefiele, and Eric Ocheme, now at large, sometime in August 2021 in Abuja, within the jurisdiction of this honorable court, knowingly had under your control a property lying and being situated at plot 109, cadastral zone, C09, Lokogoma District, FCT Abuja, measuring 150,462.86 square meters with appurtenances, which property is reasonably suspected to have been unlawfully obtained. Which bank gave you the loan to put this together? You must bring your evidence.
Exactly, you must.
In any case, in my view, it's a waste of time. This is water under the bridge.
Absolutely.
The matter has been concluded by the courts. I've not seen any court in Nigeria that has seen clearly that the court of origin actually gave
notice,
a time ceiling within which the owner of the property
to
must
come out
forward to challenge the FCC's desire to have it forfeited to the state. And nobody stepped forward within that jurisdiction. You are now saying, oh, you didn't know. Ignorance is not
it's not an excuse.
It's not tenable in law. Otherwise, I could go on the rampage slashing people's throats and say that I did not know that murder is punishable. I could come up, yes, people could come up with all kinds of reasonable things.
Exactly.
We must defeat corruption in our land.
And it is possible.
Because if we defeat corruption, it will free a lot of funds that can be used to make life more meaningful for everyone.
Absolutely.
It's as simple as that.
Absolutely. You know, like the words of the former president, if corruption does not kill, corruption might kill Nigeria. We just have to find a way.
Yeah, but you have to also look at antecedents where the courts returned forfeited property to the people who are accused of stealing it. You know, in our recent history, they won the former NNPC GMD. And then some other cases like that where at the end of the day, properties were returned. So we need
the former EFCC CMD.
GMD, yes.
EFCC screwed up the matter on their own. If we are to analyze that, the court was right in taking that decision.
Oh, really?
Yes. Because the law is clear about what you need to do.
Before you do a final forfeiture.
Yes. The man claimed that those were gifts from people.
Okay.
And over time, he was stacking them. And it's possible. People get gifts. Maybe you gave them a contract here, and they felt like dashing you $10,000, and then it piled up. So what the law says is, if you get a gift that's up to so amount at once, you must take it to the bank. Now, because the EFCC did not even check to see the quantum of money taken at once before it grabbed everything based on information that I had that was there, they were unable to prove that that threshold was met.
Oh.
So the guy could say, okay, today it was 2,000. Today somebody gave me 1,000. If you are checked, you will have seen
thorough investigation. You should have.
Yes, you check the what's it called? The number.
Serial number.
The serial number on those currencies.
Okay.
If the currency tagged
aligns,
if they followed the serial number and they got to a point, you know that you had reached that threshold, that you must put the money in a bank. You understand?
Okay.
Nobody did that before they took the money to court.
So it was
but what does it say about
it was
misconduct of collecting gifts, public officers collecting gifts?
I've told you, when it gets to a certain level, you must
take it.
But you see people who exploit the letters of our law. Yeah. If they are good lawyers.
Okay.
So if people had been giving me money for like 20 years, because you have to prove that, oh, you got this quantum of money.
Okay, for this specific number.
If they were giving me little money, I'm not saying that that is the right thing to do, you know, but Nigerians benefit from holding big offices.
Okay.
I remember when my dad was a principal, people will come, they want to put their children in school, they will bring chicken, this and that. My dad will say, I don't want it. You understand? I don't want it. Take it back, I'll put this child in school. So Nigerians will reward you for all kinds of things.
Okay.
Yeah. But the law says when...
If it gets to a particular threshold, you
take
should.
it to the bank. The law will not force you if you have just maybe $500. Nobody gives $500. Now,
and take that to the bank.
No, the law does not say that. But now, this one said they had been putting the money there over a long period. If you checked and you found that, this particular gift was like 200,000 at once, for example, or 100,000.
Okay.
You know, you have valid grants to hold him accountable. But
if it was in bids, was coming in?
Yeah, it was coming in, 1,000 today, 500 today, just putting them there. Like many Nigerians do. If you check under people's beds in Nigeria, you find a lot of dollars just hiding there. Especially big people.
Even septic tanks.
Even semi-big people. No, that one EFC denied that septic tank story was not true. The former EFC chairman said nobody kept money in septic tank. It was just rumor. Just the same way that they said Zani had diamond costed. It was all, the former EFC chairman told you that it was a lie.
When the Second Republic collapsed, the Speaker of the House of Assembly was said to have, the ministry was said to have found money in his overhead
tank. Right. Okay, gentlemen, enough of that. Let's move straight to our next conversation. Now, some fugitives run from the law. Others run straight into it, often when they think they have found an escape. That was the case for a notorious native doctor and suspected ritualist from Enugu State